Hi, this is Steve from Worthington Distribution. I'd like to discuss with you an option that's available for heating systems that we've been getting requests for from a lot of the dealers. In the northern U.S. and Canada, you have a lot of baseboard heaters that are 120 volt or 240 volts. And you want a lot of dealers want to be able to control them with Z-Wave or Wi-Fi or things of that nature. There aren't a lot of those thermostats available out there, so we have an option to be able to control these with a low voltage stat. In my example here, I'm going to be using Honeywell thermostats. We're going to be installing the Z-Wave option if you have a controller that talks to Z-Wave. If you don't have a controller that talks to Z-Wave, you don't have a controller at all, you can do the Honeywell Wi-Fi thermostat. This thermostat will also support up to 10 remote temperature sensors, which will allow you to do temperature averaging or even control temperature from different parts of the house. If you are using the Wi-Fi thermostat, you can also tie in, using their app, tie in a low temperature and water sensor with the remote sensing cable into the same app to allow for alerts. Now, in the example we're talking about here, this is a baseboard heater, and it was previously controlled by a knob that was on the front of the heater that would allow you to adjust the temperature manually. We've shut off the power. Of course, you want to protect yourself, so shut off the power, shut off the circuit breaker, and we removed the old thermostat. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this module here from Honeywell, which will allow me to tie in line voltage and then tie in the low voltage into these terminals here. So I'm going to do this wiring and I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so we've completed our installation. We now have the thermostat operating the heater. I wanted to show you this before I packed it back into the opening here. This is the module, and it's tied into the line voltage feed and to the load for the heater. This connection here is the low voltage to feed the thermostat. This will power a 24 volt thermostat whether it's battery backed up or not. You have your hot, you have your white, and you have your common. So we're going to move on to the next video, which is going to show you the example of this heater where it already has an in-wall 220 volt thermostat, and you want to be able to use a low voltage thermostat to control that as well. So be back in a moment. Okay, I'm back, and now I've got another example of using this module here with a 220 volt baseboard heater. In this example, there was no built-in thermostat, so we need to tie into a thermostat that's already on the wall. So we turned off the power, we removed the existing thermostat, and we're going to wire this module in and then take small jumpers from the low voltage connections to the low voltage thermostat. So once again, I'm going to wire this up and I'll be back in a moment. Okay, I'm back. I've completed the installation. The thermostat is now being powered from the module, and I'm able to control the 220 volt heater from my Z-Wave controller. Next video I'm going to show you, or next section of the video I'm going to show you, is if I have a splice connection somewhere else in the house. In this section, I just want to do a third option for how you can tie the low voltage thermostat into the 220 volt system. In here, there was a splice box in the basement, and all I did, I just installed the module into the splice box. Of course, power is off. And then I just need to do the line voltage wiring here to then control the baseboard heaters upstairs, and I just run the low voltage thermostat to any convenient place within the living space. So in conclusion, you can control a 220 volt baseboard heater with a low voltage thermostat, whether it's going to be a Z-Wave or a Wi-Fi thermostat. And if you were interested in what these other thermostats for, in a future video we're going to be talking about how you can control a split HVAC system. Thank you very much for your time. I'm Steve from Worthington Distribution.